From my flower mind reader, that's a new one, from wanting people to shut up so you can go to sleep. I'm sure we've all been in that boat in the past. And a pain I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Hello, Magi here, and welcome back to another episode of Top 5 Touhou Doujin Works, the series where I cover Doujin Works I or you guys have noticed throughout the week and had the need to tell you guys about it. So without further ado, let's begin the Top 5 Touhou Doujin Works number 48.
Number 5.
I know I'm not the only one who has experienced this before, but have you ever tried to go to sleep and all of a sudden things get super noisy in your home? Either some random guests are coming at 9 p.m, people are grabbing some late night snacks, or they tend to close their doors too loudly. Whatever the case may be, I'm sure you've been pissed that you've been woken up unexpectedly. It's never fun, especially if you have work or school the following morning. Let's showcase someone who's been in that similar boat. Be Quiet, created by CC Cuckoo, stars the 10 Desire crew. It's late at night and something had woken Miko up. She goes out and sees Yoshika. Seeing the zombie beat it up, she sets Yoshika down while she tries to find Sega. As Miko is trying to find the wicked hermit, she finds Tojiko and Futo. It looks like Futo's getting beaten up. We learned before Miko found the two, Futo was talking with Sega, annoying her. Futo announces that she isn't going to speak anymore. Tojiko found it foolish. Sega, on the other hand, decided she wanted to help Futo out with that and use a spell, shutting Futo up. So that's the situation we're up to at this point. Futo, annoying Tojiko while being silent, decided a lightning bolt should warrant some punishment. As painful as it was, we do see Futo talking again. This time though, Tojiko can't talk. This can be annoying, but yeah, pretty much the girls are getting silent one after the other thanks to Sega's spell. If you're dealing with Sega, expect some annoying shit. Just saying.
Number 4.
So for this next work, Miko will be appearing again, and to a small extent the rest of the crew as well. This time however, it involved one of the newer gals from the series, featuring two girls I was not expecting. Behind the Door, created by Maku Wani, stars Miko, like mentioned, but also Okina. Now you got my interest. The story takes place right after the event of Hidden Star. She berates her servants for slacking off. As she's thinking about things, she walks right through a door. That door so happened to lead to Miko's place. Neither party were expecting that, although it appears Okina had left something behind. Okina is super embarrassed about the event. Now this doesn't line up with my image of Okina, but if you randomly enter someone's home by accident, I can understand the embarrassment. As she's mulling over the walk-in, she realized she dropped her drum. As she thought it over, she decided to send her two servants to retrieve it. Not a bad idea honestly, so the two are at the area checking it out for the drum. As they're doing the job, Tochiko notices the noise and checks out the area. Realizing the intruders, the ghost decides to give them a shocking treatment. With that, the two servants headed back, failing at their task, which forces Okina to handle it personally. I'm gonna leave it at there. A simple story of Okina wanting to retrieve her drum from Miko, but being super embarrassed after the event. That's one way to handle this secret god, make her embarrassed and you're good to go.
Number 3.
For this next work, we're going to be focusing on the Magi sisters, but they'll have an unusual guest helping them out with their issues, if you will. Flower Satori, created by Moku, begins in the underground palace. Satori and Koichi are talking to one another ever since Koichi had closed up her third eye and interacting with her sister in her unconscious state. Satori didn't realize how uneasy it would be to not reach Koichi's heart. We then see Koichi at the Garden of Sun. As Koichi was looking at the sunflower, she's spotted by the flower master, Yuka. This shocked Koichi given that normally, most people wouldn't notice her. Yuka is a little familiar of Koichi thanks to Reimu. The reason Yuka appeared was due to Koichi stepping on a flower. Koichi asks if Yuka could read a flower's mind. The flower master says she can read the hearts of flowers, so you can consider her a flower Satori. I'll admit, I never thought of that until now. We learn that Koichi, or more specifically, the Satori species can't read a flower's heart, as she couldn't do so even when her third eye was still open. Yuka draws parallel between Koichi and the flower. Just because people can't read their hearts, doesn't mean you don't have one. Koichi went back home with a bunch of flowers. Koichi handed them to her sister and Satori noticed how dirty Koichi had been, wondering if she had gotten into a fight with Reimu. That was not the case and Koichi said it was playing with the flower Satori, aka Yuka. Satori is very wary of Yuka given her reputation. Koichi tells Satori flowers have hearts, but her sister reminds her that they don't. Satori does her best to warn Koichi about Yuka, but she disappeared on the spot. I want to leave it at this point. I enjoyed the story as I was able to bring in two different crews to make a story, combining the Magis and Yuka into one story. Let's just say Yuka does Yuka things.
Number 2.
For this next work, things are going to get very noisy, if you will. Mountain Echo of the Ravine, created by Namu Uni, is a story that stars Kyoko. We start at the Mirin Temple and Yamabiko of the Ravine is brought up. Mamizo is wary of it but has a bad feeling about this situation. Her gut feeling was on point as Byakuran asked the Tanuki to go grab the Yamabiko to the temple. Mamizo asked why the other girls couldn't do it, but the monk kept listing off excuses for each girl. Mamizo is curious as to why she has to bring it. Byakuran explains it's for Nue. Since the crew's so busy, she's always alone and Mamizo isn't around either. Mamizo, feeling bad for it, decides to help out the monk. This Byakuran sure knows how to tug on the hearts of her friends. With that, she's able to convince Mamizo to the task. Luckily, they were able to find the Yamabiko in the forest, resting near a tree. The Tanukis yell at Kyoko to follow them. That clearly didn't work, and for some bloody reason, this results in a giant Tanuki. They threaten the tree, which prompts Kyoko to yell back, telling it not to hurt its mother. As they try to snatch Kyoko, the girl fights back with one hell of a scream. Defeating the crew of Tanukis, Mamizo was wondering what to do as taking the girl at her state was practically kidnapping. It's then she hears a voice asking to take Kyoko away. We find out it's the tree. Not every day we see a talking tree, but yeah. I'm gonna leave it there. I want you guys to find out why this tree wants Kyoko taken away. And let's just say this is one bro of a tree. Never thought I would be saying that.
Number 1.
When it comes to this last work, I must say shit hits the fan real fast. Not in a depressing way, thank bloody goodness, but just in a painful way. Very painful. The story of Koichi being lodged in Satori-sama's urethra, created by Minato Hitori, suggested by Fred Black, begins with Satori creating a doujin work. Wow, how convenient. A doujin video with a character creating doujin work. After making some progress, Satori takes a break, but she feels a sharp pain near her hips. She goes to lie down, hoping it would ease the pain. If the pitchfork was any indication, it didn't work. So she called for help. She calls Koichi and we're given the most insane response yet. It turns out Koichi is inside Satori's urethra. What the fuck? Even after reading this, I have no idea how her power over subconsciousness allowed her to be in that place. Satori calls out her pets, and seeing her in this painful and unusual situation, they take her to Aente. Aaron says Satori has a urethric stone. Aaron gives an explanation of what it is, a crystallized stone within the body that causes blockage to the passage of urine. They give Satori some medicine and it was helping out. That was until Koichi got mad that Satori had forgotten about her, so Koichi decided that it was best if Satori didn't forget at all by slicing her insides. This girl is fucking nuts. But yeah, I can't say anymore as this work is pretty much Satori suffering through some extraordinary pain due to her sister's insanity. Like, holy fuck! This work makes me really afraid of Koichi now. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Which doujin works are you gonna check out later? Would you like to see how Miko and Okina interact? Would you like to see more interactions between the Komeiji sisters and Yuka? Or do you want to see more of Kyoko from the past? If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe, or else Koichi might be tearing up your insides. And trust me, you do not want that to happen. Either way, this is Magi, and thanks again for watching.